Hey everyone, Steve here from Hotmods. Be uploading some videos of my mate Greg's Kombi that you see here. They'll be his videos. I'll send a link down below of his channel as well. He'll be doing the commentary. He's allowed me to use his videos for my channel, considering we're doing the work here at Hotmods. So like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever, discuss, go from there. Hopefully you enjoy the videos and have a great day.
G'day guys, my name is Greg. I'm here at Hotmods Garage. I'm restoring a 74 bay window Kombi, as you can see in the pictures, or whatever's left of it. Got the Kombi. I've called her Renee because I've got two boys at home, but if I would have had a girl it would have been called Renee. So this gave me an opportunity to call the bus Renee. Yeah, so I bought the bus 5 years ago for 1,000 Australian dollars. Really a bargain considering the condition of it is. I know the panel work is bad, but I think all of them are. The bus is at least 45 years old, 46 if you want to be accurate. This is the first time I've ever been doing something like this. I thought just because of this COVID-19 we're getting a bit bored. I'm with my friend Steve here at his Hotmods Garage. Steve is he restores cars for a living. He's not really into Volkswagens, but because, you know, if you do one car you do them all, and with a bit of guidance and with some manuals I think we were getting it right. When I bought Renee, she sat on the driveway for 15 years. She had a couple of flat tyres at the front, that's why the whole front is pretty much gone. As you can see, we've taken the front off, the inner apron underneath the windshield, the one up here. As you can see, it's pretty cactus, it's all gone. So we've got a new one for that, so we're going to be putting that in. As you can see, the A-pillars on the side, they're all gone at the top, all got pinholes through it. I've got two new ones for them. I've got a guy here in Australia that actually makes them, so I've got him to make a couple and get it replaced. As you can see, there's a bit of work to be done here, but we're not afraid of what we're doing, so I thought, yeah, let's get on with it. We've replaced the front floor in it because that was all shot. Yeah, I got one of these Brazilian front floors. I'm not sure if I'll ever do that again, but we got it to fit. As it's universal and they drive on the left, I think, on the right hand side of the road, they've got the steering wheel column and the holes, they're on the opposite side, we fill them in. It's an auto, it's a 1.8 litre automatic, so fitting the front floor we needed a couple of the items like the shifter. We put that on to make sure it lines up. The hole in the bottom lines up pretty good. We cut a new hole for the steering box. We put that in, all works perfect. The only mistake I made is, and not understanding completely what we're actually doing, the inner valance on the Kombis, that also the deformation panel, the one that's here, the ones in the front that where the bumper gets mounted onto, the deformation panel actually sits onto the inner valance, and the inner valance is sitting then onto the chassis rails. Well, when we cut the floor out, we actually discovered that the top of the inner valance, so technically this piece here that runs up to the floor that's spot welded onto the inside of this, is actually part of the inner valance. But we didn't want to take the deformation panel off to get to the inner valance and to replace that, because the deformation panel itself, the part that goes onto the chassis rails, was all good on the inside part of it. Yeah, we've got the corners here underneath the A-pillar. We've got two replacement parts for that, so we can fix that. Steve's put a little bit of a section in here. And what we did is, once we bolted the front floor into it, or welded the front floor into it, we needed to fill the gap between the top of the lip of the front floor to the bottom where the chassis rails is. So I actually made a piece. I got 2mm of steel, some bodywork, folded it, and then used a stretcher to stretch and shrink the metal to get the curve on it. And then we actually spot welded it to the top of the into the land or the rails, and we spot welded it to the floor. The only thing I'll have to do is, as you can see, some of the cables for the heating and all the electrical, because the electrical, I've removed the wiring loom on the car. We'll just have to drill like the original ones. I've got some holes in here, so the electrical work that runs underneath the tubes that go to the back engine bay, as well as some of the cables, we'll have to drill some holes for that. So that's the only thing that we'll have to do. So like I said, I've got the inner windscreen panel here, so we can fix that. I actually went on a trip to the Netherlands early January, and I picked it up from Keith & Clock because they were the only ones that I can get one from, because here in Australia I couldn't get a new one. Even with the online JK panels, etc., they didn't have them, so I took it home with me from the Netherlands. Also got a new front skin to put on. Once we've done the inner part behind the windscreen, once we've done that, we'll get that sorted. Yeah, as you can see, there are some holes here in the top of the door near the window panels where the strips go, the chrome strips, the trims. Steve also replaced the section under the front seat. I don't know how it happened, but it was completely rotted out under the seat. So yeah, he made a panel himself. He's got the bead rollers, so he made it to look original as it is. So we've done virtually the front of the car at the moment that meets the floor. Yeah, the dog leg, the bottom section and the step, that was completely rusted out. I can show you how it looked like because the other side's still in. We've got replacement parts for that, so we're going to do that soon. As you can see, there is absolutely, it used to be a Sopru camper with a big hole in the roof, and they cut the middle bow out of it to create the pop top. Well, I was a bit hesitant to create or go with a camper again because I didn't want it to leak after we'd gone through this restoration. So we're going to put a solid roof on it, the donor roof that I've already got. So what we've done is we've de-stitched the roof, so I drilled out all the spot welds. We stripped the existing roof off completely. With the donor roof, I've also got the middle hoop, so we can put the original hoop in. We've replaced the bottom panel of the rear quarter guard. We've also done the rear corner because, yeah, that was toast. It was completely gone. So Steve's put the new one in. We've also put a new battery tray in behind it. Once we took the old one off, we discovered that the D pillar that runs virtually from the top of the roof here all the way to the bottom of the chassis rail, we put a new D pillar in that runs all around the upper door and the engine lid. We've got the back here because that was rusted, so where the engine actually hinges onto, we've got that panel as well. And yeah, we've got the existing engine lid. We've taken out the tyre well, or where the spare tyre sits. Yeah, that had collected water because the pop top was not waterproof. So the interior of the car, all the timber work, all the cabinetry, they were completely gone. So I'm not sure if I want to put the rear tyre, the spare tyre back in the back, or we're just going to cover it up and then we'll have it sitting somewhere else. With the roof, we also had to remove the top here, the inner panel, because that was as gone as well. Knowing Steve, he's a craftsman, he's going to make a new one for me before the new roof comes on. As you can see, we're still in the process at the top of the roof here, above the window. As you can see, it is pretty cactus. But nothing we can't do, because the frame that we've got with the donor roof is good. So once we de-stitch the roof from its frame of the donor, we'll use those panels to put back into the back of the car here. As you can see, it's got a couple of dings in it from the previous driver that will pull them out because the rest of the panel is pretty good. The side panel, like what we did on the other side, we've cut this all out and it's ready for another panel to go in, because as they all do around in the Kombis, on the bottom here and on the front, they rust out. So we've actually got panels to put in. We've also got a new sill, an outer sill for under the sliding door to go in. So we've got all the panels, we've done most of the strip work, so we're slowly putting it back together. As you can see, where the sliding door is, some of the rust that we cut out that we've got replacement panels for as well. So yeah, she's giving us a hard time because you guys know, whoever works on Kombis, once you start peeling them back like an onion, you discover more rust. My wife says to me, she says, I don't understand that you want to do it, the money that you're going to put into it, but it's a passion and I love the Kombis. So yeah, I was just up to it, and now we're into it already for about 5 years. Maybe you guys think, well, you haven't done a lot, but yeah, we stripped her. She's been bead blasted, pre-primed. The good thing about this car is that the chassis underneath and everything on the bottom, so the bottom part of the car internally and structural wise is fantastic. We don't have to do anything. So as you can see, the floor is in good condition. The 2 holes there, we're going to fill them in because that's where the gas bottle used to sit for the cooker, and I don't want them anymore because we're not making a camper out of it anymore. Alright, like I said, this is still the existing dog leg in the car on the passenger side, and as you can see, the bottom is really gone. So yeah, we're going to do the same as on the other side. We're going to take this one out completely. We're going to put a new one in. People have been asking me what colour are you going to spray paint the bus. I'm not sure. The bus used to be crystal clear white. So I'm maybe going to spray paint it white again, but then do something funky with it. Not sure yet. Yeah, so the bus has been taking us now 5 years. We're now on to the home stretch. Steve probably needs about another 4 or 5 months to get the rest of the panel work all done, because he has got other projects on the go, and you virtually only want to work on the bus when I'm here as well, so we can go through discussions or go through stuff together. So yeah, like I said, here she is. It will take a little while for her to get completed. Within the next month I hope to have the roof re-stitched back on so she's a bit more solid. I've got most of the new panels here. Like I said, this is the dog leg, and other panels at the back there that we've all got. So we've got all the parts to do it, and we'll go from there. Once the roof is on and the front's back in, I'm thinking of putting her on a rotisserie, because I want to drop the axles out and all the suspension, and I want to redo that all up. We left her on her wheels at the moment just because it's easy to roll around in the workshop. So sorry if I'm shaking a bit, boys. Maybe I need to use a tripod, but I thought I'll just give you a bit of a tour of the workshop as well as the Kombi. There's the donor roof. I picked it up just before Christmas. Came off a 74 bay as well, but it was a panel rather than a microbus. The roof is in really good condition. It's got no rust in it. It's got a couple of little dings on the top, but that's easy to fix. So that's the job for today, is put this one on some sawhorses and start de-stitching the roof by drilling out all the pop rivets. And those, if you guys know and who's done that before, yeah, that can take you a day to do it. And like I said, Steve from Hotmods, He does other projects. He's also working on a 1954 Fordson. Looks like a little bakery van. He spent a lot of time in that at the moment. It's nearly to completion to get painted. So, like I said, Steve's a craftsman. He started off as a fitter and turner, and then eventually he went into automotive, car repairs, etc. So yeah, Renee's got a bit of work to be done, but overall I'm pretty happy with how she's coming along. People say, you know, it takes a long time to get anything done. It's not only the time, it's also the money. You know, you don't want to pour $25,000 to $30,000 into a car within a year if it's part of a hobby. So I'm hoping by the end of next year to have her on the road, all spray painted, all ready to go. We've pulled the engine and the transmission out. The engine is going to a Volkswagen repairer who also rebuilt engines, so he's going to rebuild it from scratch. I've taken the automatic transmission. I've taken that to a transmission guy to get rebuilt. It's in good working order. It's a 003 3-speed automatic. It's in good working order. It was working fine when we bought the car, but like I said, if we're going to go into this extinct to restore a bus, I want to make sure that the engine and the transmission and all the mechanicals are virtually brand new. So then I've still got some years of happy traveling. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you've got any comments, I'd love to hear them. Yeah, because I'm new to this. I'm hoping to do once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks, give a little bit of an update what we're doing with her, and then hopefully within the next 2 years you can see where she ends up. Alright guys, keep cool, keep safe, have a good one.